Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Knights Stadium for this round 14 NPL Victoria clash. We just waited for a minute's silence there prior to kickoff. It is the Melbourne Knights taking on the Oakleigh Cannons. Last time around, the Melbourne Knights snuck a victory on the 15th of February at Jack Edwards Reserve. It was 2-1. It was a Hamish Watson double. And Joe Guest was the goal scorer for the Cannons. We have kickoff here, and we will be going through the lineups shortly as Oakleigh are quickly on the attack. It's Harry White on the right-hand side, but it will be out for a Melbourne Knights throw-in. So we quickly run through the host lineup. Melbourne Knights, number 1 in goals, Harry Chakarun. Number 2, Luke Jurcic. Number 6, Tomislav Uskok. Number 7, Gian Albano. Number 9, Hamish Watson. Number 10, Marijan Cvitkovic. Number 12, Corey Sewell. Number 13, Ivan Grgic. Number 16, Mohammed Awad. Number 19, Anthony Giselle. And number 27, Joseph Franjic. And for the visitors, Oakleigh Cannons, number 1 in goals, John Honos, who we just saw there kick the ball out. Number 2, captain, Thomas Matthews. Number 3, Ramazan Tavsancioglu. Number 5, Blair Govan. Number 8, Ryan Patskowski. Number 10, Joe Guest. Number 11, Wade Decker. Number 13, Hamish Miller. Number 16, Harry White. Number 19, Goran Zoric. And number 41, Luke Pavlu. The long ball comes out there. And Harry Chakarun gets rid of it as far as he can. We are live and interactive on Facebook and YouTube under NPL Victoria. For those of you who are joining me tonight, thank you very much, and we hope we are in store for a fantastic game of football. It is very windy here at Knights Stadium tonight. I am in the media tower. I've got the window closed because if I was to open the window, I reckon not only everything I've got on me would blow away, but myself included. It's very, very windy as the ball comes out. It is Blair Govan who throws it out. Back to John Honos. John Honos looking for the long option again as he tries to find Patskowski, but Ivan Grgic gets there in front of Patskowski and just shields the ball out of play, and it will be Luke Jurcic to take the throw. Handball shout there given. Long header. It's with Patskowski again. Finds it was White, and Joe Guest could not keep the ball as the ball comes out to Anthony Giselle. Giselle gives it to Cvitkovic wearing the orange armband and gloves, showing you how cold it is here. It's to Hamish Watson. Hamish Watson on the turn. Comes out to Giselle. Giselle gets it to Uskok. Uskok looking to maybe whip a ball in. Gives it to Awad. And Awad is dispossessed there as Oakleigh look to go on the counter. Plays a long ball. Once again, Oakleigh have been looking for this long ball from kickoff. They haven't been able to settle their play. Melbourne Knights with more of the ball. We talk about Hamish Watson. Last time in round 1, this fixture, all the goals came in the second half at Jack Edwards Reserve. And this is round 14, so this is the first time that the teams are seeing each other a second time this season as it goes out for a throw-in for the Knights. Comes out to Awad. Awad debuted last week against Dandenong Thunder in the Knights' 3-3 draw against the Thunder. The Knights found themselves down twice by 2 goals. And when the scoreline was at 3-1 for the Thunder, it was Mohamed Awad who was terrorising the defence for majority of the game. That's Awad who gives the ball to Cvitkovic. My apologies, that was Watson, Hamish Watson. But the ball goes out for a corner. But yeah, it was Mohamed Awad who was terrorising the Dandenong Thunder defence last week. And he managed to find himself a bit of an opportunity outside the box, and he struck an absolute blinder of a shot straight into the top corner to make it 3-2. And it was very positive signs for Mickey Cholina and the Knights staff as Sewell gets the ball in corner. It's Cvitkovic. Cvitkovic brings it back to Sewell. Sewell's onside. Gives it to Awad. Awad facing up against Zoric. Tries to skip past him. Unsuccessful so far, but does on the left boot. Tries to take a shot to catch John Honos off guard at the front post. Unfortunately for the hosts, it was not on target, but it looked to be like Honos had that one covered. It's a positive start from the Knights, as Mohamed Awad showing what he's capable of there, not giving up. He will keep fighting until the final whistle. So Honos boots it long. No one there but Uskok. Uskok tries to look for Albano. Albano gets a touch onto it just before Thomas Matthews, the Oakleigh skipper. Now it's with Giselle. Giselle looks to cut back in, gives it to Jurcic. Jurcic with not too much room. Tries to skip past Hamish Miller, but unfortunately Hamish Miller too well balanced there for Luke Jurcic. This is Wade Decker. Gives the ball out. That was to Zoric, who was on the defensive end just a minute ago, and now he's looking to terrorise the Knights' defence. It's Joe Guest. Tries to loop it up. The ball ends up with Patskowski, but he couldn't get a good touch onto it as Hrvoje Čakarun gets the ball straight out to Luke Jurcic. Now it's with Uskok. Uskok gives it to Franjic. Looks to me like the Knights are without Aidan Bryce tonight, their main starting centre-back, who I believe is suspended due to an accumulation of yellow cards, as he was booked against the Thunder last week. Looks to me like the Knights have set up a 3 in the back sort of formation, with 3 in the back on attack, as Joseph Franjic is playing between centre-back and defensive midfielder. Ivan Grigic is playing sole centre-back, sort of like a sweeper. Corey Sewell on the left back. Luke Jurcic right back. Tomislav Uskok and Marijan Cvitkovic in the middle. It's Anthony Giselle who's playing on the left, sort of like a left midfielder. Mohamed Awad is playing on the right. Hamish Watson up top, and it looks like they got Gian Albano just in behind Watson. The ball looks to find Gian Albano, doesn't. Comes to Cvitkovic. Cvitkovic trying to set his feet, but fantastic work from Joe Guest. Joe Guest has gone through 3 Melbourne Knights defenders, and it's a 4-on-2 situation here. Wade Decker on the left. Joe Guest gives it to Decker. Decker cuts in, and unfortunately for the visitors, that has to be the best chance of the game. The potential there. That was a 4-on-2. It was Joe Guest skip past 3 Melbourne Knights midfielders there, like they weren't even trying to defend him, and then he gives it out to Decker. And Decker probably does not make the best decision in that situation, but it comes out to Gian Albano. Gian Albano's facing up against Tavsan Tsioglu. And Tav Sansioglu came away with the ball as Oakleigh lose it again. It's a bit of pinball going on at the moment, but it comes out to Blair Govan, who gives it back to the much trusted John Honos. We do have Melbourne Knights, who are in 5th position on the NPL Victoria ladder, up against the Oakleigh Cannons, who are in 12th. As the ball comes out to Guest. It was a great ball, but Guest is trying to chase it. Goes on first time, tries to find Patskowski there. And you could imagine if Ryan Patskowski was maybe just half a yard in front there, it could have been 1-0 to the visitors. But as I was saying, it is the Knights who are in 5th on the NPL Victoria ladder. I can't get a word in. It's Albano, but it was Tav Sansioglu who made sure that attack... Well, that was nice work there. That was Muhammad Awad crossing it into Hamish Watson. Hamish Watson on the head. He enjoyed a fantastic Melbourne Knights debut, as I was saying earlier, in round 1, where he managed to strike twice in the second half to ensure the Knights got a victory, which was a surprise victory at the time, as we had the Oakleigh Cannons, who were one of the favourites to maybe sit top of the NPL Victoria ladder by the end of the season. But it hasn't really turned out that way, the Oakleigh Cannons, who are in that playoff spot at the moment. So the NPL Victoria, 13th and 14th, that is second last and last, go directly down to NPL Victoria 2. But that 12th position is a playoff spot. And if the season was to finish today, the Oakleigh Cannons would be facing the winner of the 2 runner-ups in NPL 2 as Joe Guest gets onto the shot. Left boot there. It was going towards that back post. It looked like Hrvoje Chakarun maybe had it covered, but it just skimmed past the post. Wouldn't be surprised if it even touched the post there. Fantastic work. I mean, the Knights have had maybe more of the ball, and maybe using it a bit better, but the Oakleigh Cannons have had 2 fantastic opportunities so far to find themselves a lead, but we are still deadlocked at 0-0. Oakleigh looking to go through its Guest. Off the pass from Thomas Matthews. And it will be out for an Oakleigh corner kick. The Melbourne Knights have played 13 games so far this season. Just like everybody else in the league. 7 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses. 24 goals scored, 20 goals conceded, 4 goal difference and 23 points as the corners whipped in. Comes out to Joe Guest, wins it in front of Muhammad Awad. Long searching ball to the back post. And that was Harry White, who was looking to leap onto it to get any type of touch onto it. But over the head of Harry White, and it is out for a Melbourne Knights goal kick. I was saying the Melbourne Knights on 23 points. The Oakleigh Cannons, who are in 12th position, have 12 points, 13 games played, 3 wins, 3 draws, 7 losses, 14 goals scored, 19 goals conceded, a -5 goal difference, and just repeating there on 12 points. It's Luke Jurcic who will throw it in. Gives it to Watson. Watson's headed effort, looking maybe for a teammate, but no teammate in sight. Hamish Miller throws it in, finds Zordic. with Thomas Matthews. Back to Matthews. With Patskowski. And Tomislav Uskok gets a foot right in front of it. Tomislav Uskok with what could be, if not his final game for the Knights this season, but we are hearing some rumours that he may be going back to Sydney. So keep an eye out for that news to be confirmed, I guess, in the next couple of weeks. But it is Goran Zoric. The wad can't get onto it. It's Blair Govan. Govan looks for the long ball. Finds a teammate. Ball comes in. And nothing from that opportunity there. Great move here from the Knights. Hamish Watson, who skips past. That was Miller. And Jurcic whips it in. Comes out to Juzel. Juzel looks for Albano. Albano still got the ball in that box. It's with Juzel. Tries to go with the outside of the foot. It's with Svitkovic. And a couple shots came there from the Knights, but they were unable to get anything towards goal, and it was, I think, Anthony Juzel who tried the right-footed outside-of-the-foot attempt, and it was blocked by Awad as Jurcic gives it to Juzel. Juzel gives it to Awad. It's with Svitkovic, and the Knights are trying to conjure up something here, but great pressure from the Oakleigh Cannons as the assistant referee believes that Awad played the ball out, and he's back with Awad. Svitkovic, and Svitkovic is challenged there by Joe Guest. And Guest is not happy. He believes that the contact was not sufficient for a foul. Luke Pavlu with his hands behind his head. Maybe searching for a bit of breath. It has been a bit of a high-tempo start. A few chances going each way, but nothing yet to conjure up a lead. We are deadlocked here as we edge closer to the 20th minute mark. It will be Corey Sewell to whip this one in on the right boot. Does just that. Looks for Uskok. Uskok can't get a head onto it. It does come out, and it's Hamish Watson had a head onto that one, and it had just gone past the post. The Melbourne Croatia fans right underneath me there were breathless also as Hamish Watson nearly creeped that headed effort into the goal. The Knights holding most of the ball and most of their attacking presence in especially the last 5 minutes. Comes out to Hamish Miller, who tries to get it out, but does cough up the ball. There's a Luke Jurcic throw-in. Luke Jurcic might fancy to go long here. Looks like he will, with the amount of steps back he's taking. We know he's capable of the long throw. Just shows it there. Comes out to Giselle, and Anthony Giselle with all the room in the world on the left boot as Gian Albano shielded the player away from Giselle. The bouncing ball came to Anthony Giselle, and on the left boot, inside of the foot, trying to keep it under the crossbar, and unfortunately for the hosts, he was unable to. And my word, chances have gone begging at either side. so far in this opening 20 minutes. And let's hope. And that just there shows you how windy it is here at Knights Stadium, as Hedwig Chakaron tried to launch the ball, and it ended up closer than he had kicked it. As it's with Patskowski. We're going to skip past Franjic. Patskowski gets a little shot onto it, but nothing to test Hrvoje Čakarun between the Melbourne Knights sticks. We just passed the 20th minute mark here at Melbourne Knights Stadium. It is Melbourne Knights 0, Oakleigh Cannons 0. Fantastic goal scoring opportunities for both sides so far. It is the Knights who are attacking against the wind, going left to right, and the Oakleigh Cannons attacking with the wind, going from right to left on your screens. For those of you who are joining us on Facebook and YouTube, thank you very much for being with us. Harry White is looking to get in front of Grgic and Franjic there, but was unable to, as Franjic ended up lobbing the ball. It's with Corey Sewell. Corey Sewell looking for Gian Albano. We know Gian Albano has quick legs. In behind, inside, he's got Hamish Watson, but he's unable to get past number 3, Ramazan Tavsantioglu. I apologise for the pronunciation. Cvitkovic. Sewell. Franjic. The Knights taking their time. See if they can conjure up something. Anthony Giselle has room. Gives it out to Gian Albano. Gian Albano this time tried to skip past Tavsantioglu again, but it was Tavsantioglu who managed to take it out for a corner. It was taken quick. Giselle with the delivery, looking for Uskok. Unable to find him, as Mohamed Awad doesn't let Goran Zoric with any time and space, and it is Tomislav Uskok who we could call a professional foul. Just behind Joe Guest there, fouls him, as the Oakleigh, who are dangerous on the counter-attack, but the one counter-attack opportunity they've had in this first half, it was Joe Guest who played Wade Decker through on the left, and Wade Decker, instead of taking a shot with the left foot, maybe looking for that back post, he tried to cut in, but he was read there by the defender, and the opportunity was wasted. They did have a 4v2 scenario. I don't know if they're going to be able to maybe create something as golden as that, as they do not win a corner. It is out for a goal kick. For those of you who are joining us on Facebook and YouTube, I am being told that we are having some issues with Facebook. So if you'd like to drop a comment in the Facebook feed, but please jump on to YouTube, NPL Victoria YouTube channel. We are live and uninterrupted on YouTube. It is working, I can confirm that. Great work here by Joe Guest, who looked to, with his fancy footwork, he's managed to dribble past a fair few Melbourne Knights defenders tonight, but this time around he wins a corner. It will be Ryan Patskowski to take on this far side. Couple players in the box. Harry White, who's on the ball now, he made an early run, but the corner was deep. It's with Guest. Guest in front of Awad. Awad looking to chase him down. Guest gets it on the preferred left foot. Comes out to... It was Harry White on the left foot, but the effort was nowhere near the mark. So we've clocked into the 25th, past the 25th minute mark. And the long ball, which does not go past the halfway, the wind deterring it there. But it's with Cvitkovic, and now it's with Sewell under pressure from Decker. Manages to find Anthony Giselle. Giselle up against Thomas Matthews, gives it to Awad. Awad looks to turn Luke Pavlou, does, but Pavlou gets a little block in there, and then the ball from Awad was not good enough to find a teammate. I believe it was Goran Zoric who picked that one up and gave it away pretty much instantaneously. It's Luke Jurcic to take. Plays it through to Awad. Awad up against Luke Pavlou. It is Awad. Mohamed Awad doesn't give it to Jurcic. In fact, he crosses it, and it was Thomas Matthews who got the head there. Comes out to Awad. And now it's with Harry White. Harry White looks to find Patskowski on the right. He's got Joe Guest in the middle. Gives it to Guest. Guest came out wide, but then it was too much of an angle for Joe Guest to get any sort of good touch onto it to whip it into the box. As Cvitkovic comes away with it, tries to give it to Awad, doesn't get to him. It's with Uskok. Uskok gives it to Giselle. Giselle with a square ball to Jurcic. Jurcic gives it to Albano, who's come onto the right-hand side this time around, but fantastic work from Hamish Miller to get away from it. But the Knights, even when they lose it, they work very hard to win it back almost instantaneously. As with Cvitkovic, a bit of room, tries to sneak it through for either Albano or Watson, but John Honos says, I'll take those all night. As he throws it out to Hamish Miller. Hamish Miller gives it to Wade Decker on the left. Wade Decker facing up against Ivan Grgic. And Tomislav Uskok with some great defensive work there. Awad can't shake off the challenge from Luke Pavlou as Corey Sewell just gets a foot behind it as it comes out to Zoric. Zoric with the head onto it, and it is with Wade Decker in the end there, got the touch. It was between Harry White and Wade Decker. It looked like Harry White was going to unleash a left-footed effort, and then Wade Decker did. And same result as the last effort. Still scoreless here at Knights Stadium. The Oakleigh Cannons have had some fantastic opportunities. It's not very often you get a 2-on-1 situation in front of the goalkeeper. And the Oakleigh Cannons did not make the best of that one at all. Comes out to Blair Govan. That was a very deep corner. Joe Guest on the turn. Joe Guest looking to get a touch in, and it was Wade Decker, I believe, who got a touch in front of the goalkeeper, Harry Chakarun, but was unable to do anything with it. It is Gian Albano going the other way, and Tavsan Sioglu got the touch, and it was enough of a touch to stop the effort, and then a secondary effort was enough to stop the attack altogether. Luke Jurcic chases it in front of Goran Zoric, gives it to Uskok. Now it's with Jurcic, back to Uskok. Goran Zoric with the high boot there. Had he collected Uskok, may have been the first yellow of the game. confirming there have not been any yellow cards in the first half an hour. As the ball comes from Sewell to Albano. Albano gets to it first, looking to conjure something up. He's happy with the corner, as he maybe just kicked it straight into Tavsan Sioglou. Corey Sewell will be whipping this one in with the preferred right foot, being in swinging corner. Hamish Watson, Ivan Grgic, Marijan Cvitkovic, Tomislav Uskok, they're all in the box. Comes out to Grgic. Grgic sort of floats it back in. Comes out to Sewell, who might be offside. No, isn't, but it is Goran Zordic who gets to it. As it's with Ryan Patskowski. Gives it to Joe Guest. Joe Guest on the run. It's Joseph Franjic got into it first. That was the battle between the two Joes. Joseph Franjic and Joe Guest. Thomas Matthews takes the throw, the skipper. And does the 1-2. Managed to get the cross. The Oakleigh Cannons haven't really been able to sort of work out this wind that they're playing with, and many of their crosses and corners have been very deep and very not precise to where you'd really want them. They haven't really been able to hit the danger areas, but they have had three good opportunities to score so far, as Watson does fantastic to not only pick up the ball from the goal kick, but make sure that Hamish Miller concedes the throw. Comes out to Cvitkovic. Cvitkovic sort of got the boot onto it, and then he hit his shin pad, but it's still Knight's ball. As Uskok looks for Juzel. Juzel was used at his arm, but as he got in front of Thomas Matthews there, the referee's not happy because Hamish Watson interfered with the quick free kick. As the referee has a talking to with Watson, sharing a few words, but looks like we're going to stay without any bookings here in the first half. I think it was Wade Decker who got the head onto that, but the Cannons lose the ball. They've won it back now as Joseph Franjic does well to hit the side of the roof there on top of the grandstand. So the ball doesn't go over the grandstand but comes straight back onto the pitch as the Oakleigh Cannons look to conjure up an effort there, but it was Goran Zordic who tried to find a teammate. He had three options in the box, but now it is Zordic again. He's found with a quick throw in, but as he tried to control it with the outside of his right boot there, the pressure from Corey Sewell was enough to let it go out for a Melbourne Knights goal kick. The Oakleigh Cannons are unbeaten in their last three. Last week they won away from, my apologies, they drew away from home to Green Gully. It was a 1-1 draw. Round 13. Round 12 saw the Cannons host Pascoval, and they managed to win 1-0. And round 11 saw South Melbourne hosting the Cannons, but the Cannons managed to win 2-0 at Lakeside Stadium, which was a massive result for a team who are nowhere near where they were Nowhere near where they wanted to be, or where many people maybe even saw them being, but it has been Avondale, Bentley Greens and Heidelberg who have been the top three horses in the league so far. Speaking of Avondale, Tuesday night here at Knights Stadium we'll see Melbourne Knights host Avondale in round 6 FFA Cup football. It'll be a fantastic evening of football as we got a few midweek clashes. I'll go through all of the midweek FFA Cup fixtures shortly. Chakadun does well to fight the wind there as Govan gets in front of Watson. Comes out to Patskowski. Great work there from Tomislav Uskok, but Luke Jurcic didn't read it, and Pavlu got onto it in front of all the Knights, and Patskowski skips past Jurcic. Now he's got Grgic in front of him, goes for the cross. The wind sort of stopped the ball, but the Cannons couldn't get an effort onto the ball as Luke Pavlu goes down. And a bit of pushing and shoving there, but Muhammad Awad was pushed, but did not react. And now the referee's having a chat with Ramazan Tavsantsioglu. To skipper Thomas Matthews on the right. Joe Guest, the two number 10s, working hard. Zvitkovic does enough for Joe Guest to misplace the pass. It's with Watson. Watson tries to find Awad. Awad skips past Goran Zoric there, and after doing all the hard work in the middle of the park, the through ball did not find a teammate. Once again, for all of those watching at home, if you'd like to leave a comment, jump onto Facebook stream and drop a comment. Let us know what you're thinking. However, if you'd like to watch it live and uninterrupted, YouTube is the place to be. The ball's thrown into the box. It was Franjic who got a head onto it. And a great effort there from Goran Zoric to showed us his mobility with that bicycle kick. But I believe there was, if not an offside, it was for maybe the high boot. But irrespective, it is a dead ball situation. As Chakadun boots it long, Hamish Watson gets in front of it as it's with Tavsantsioglu. Gives it to Matthews. Matthews looks to find Patskowski, I believe that was. It's now with White. Comes out to Guest. Guest in front of Grgic and tried to control it and get the ball sorted, but it is out for a Knights goal kick. Chakadun choosing to drive the goal kick this time. He's been fighting against the wind this whole first half. It's a very heavy wind going against the Knights at the moment, as it is with Zordic. Zordic gives it to Harry White. He's got Decker, Guest, and Patskowski in the box. Looks to go solo. Maybe it was a bit of the wind there, deterring the effort from finding a teammate, but it has gone over the crossbar and it is out for a goal kick for the Knights. We're into the last 5 minutes of this first half, scoreless first half. Chakarun slipped there as the goal kick goes straight to the goalkeeper on the other side, John Honos. Tavsantsioglu's effort goes only as far as Jurcic. Jurcic up against Pavlu. Gives it to Cvitkovic. Cvitkovic under heavy pressure. Finds Grgic. Grgic to Franic. It would be a shame for either side to concede now. They've both had their fair share of chances, as Blair Govan, not only does he get it out of the ground, but maybe even over the back fencing here behind the tower, the quarry. But it'll be another long throw for the Knights. Grgic gives it to Jurcic. Jurcic gets past Decker, gets a ball whipped in, comes to Anthony Giselle. Giselle back to Cvitkovic, and it was at that mid-range height for Marian Cvitkovic, the Melbourne Knights skipper, and as he latched onto the left-footed effort, he was unable to keep it down. But his teammates won't be annoyed that he tried that effort there, because player of the calibre of Marian Cvitkovic, we know if he hits that ball sweetly, that can be rifling into the top corner. It's been a quite clean first half from both sides, which is fantastic to see, as Harry White manages to skip past two Knights defenders there, but Harvoja Chakarun came out a long way away from his goal, and the effort was saved. Fantastic work there from the young goalkeeper, Harvoja Chakarun, to not only save it, but read the play and get there. Patskowski whips it in, and it sort of dropped into the box. Tough to read. It's with Hamish Watson, who's trying to use his body to skip past two Oakleigh Cannons players there. Doesn't do enough, as Hamish Miller wins a throw. Doesn't go quickly. We should see the stoppage time board coming up in a matter of minutes. It's with Patskowski, who's still got the ball, skips past Jurcic and Uskok, whips it in, can't find a teammate. It comes out to Goran Zordic, who tries to take a shot. It's now with Luke Pavlu. Luke Pavlu tries to dink one into an oncoming attacker. Maybe he was looking for the likes of Harry White or Wade Decker to get onto the end of that one, but to no avail, as the ball goes the other way. It's for the Knights, but they cough it up almost instantaneously. It was Blair Govan who lobbed it long, and the referee does blow his whistle. It will be a free kick against Ryan Patskowski. Joe Guest plays it quick, Tries to look for Decker, finds him, back to Guest. Guest on the left foot, only goes as far as Luke Jurcic. And nice short ball to Gian Albano. First time touch to Mohamed Awad. Mohamed Awad gets a good touch past Luke Pavlu. It's with Gian Albano on the left boot. And the groans inside Knights Stadium tell you what their fans think of that effort. That was a fantastic team play opportunity for the Knights. There was a nice ball from Albano to find Awad, and then Awad gave it back to Albano. And Hamish Watson was the man in the middle there, in between Awad and Albano. But as the ball came to the left boot, leaning back and striking it with the inside left, it skied over the bar. The fourth official is getting the board prepared. It looks from here like it's going to be 1 minute of additional time, which is about fair because there haven't been too many stoppages. We are goalless. We are bookingless. No yellows, no reds, no goals, no substitutions. However, there have been opportunities for both sides to get a lead here, but we are still deadlocked here at Knights Stadium. Melbourne Knights 0, Oakleigh Cannons 0. Luke Pavlu finds Patskowski. Back to Pavlu. Pavlu finds Decker. Decker trying to get in behind. Was looking for, that was Joe Guest and Harry White, but couldn't find him. And Hervo Chakarun catches the ball, and that is the final play of the first half. The score here at Knights Stadium is Melbourne Knights 0, Oakleigh Cannons 0. My name is Josip Herzog. Thank you for joining me in this first half, and we will be back in 12 to 13 minutes as we prepare for the second half. Thank you. Welcome back to Knights Stadium for this round 14 NPL Victoria clash between the Melbourne Knights and the Oakleigh Cannons. If you're just joining us, it is the second half and the Knights get it underway. The Melbourne Knights in red, the home team, shooting from right to left with the wind in this half. And the visitors, the Oakleigh Cannons, in blue, attacking from left to right against the wind. Why am I mentioning the wind? Well, because it is blowing a storm here at Melbourne Knights Stadium, as you see with that ball from John Honos. As it takes flight, the wind tries to stop it. And it is with Cvitkovic, and it's with Giselle. Giselle with a lot of time on the ball. Gives it to Awad in the middle. Awad doesn't turn. Plays it back out to Corey Sewell. Sewell back to Awad. Great pressure there from Goran Zordic. Manages to find Luke Pavlu and win the ball for the Cannons. Wade Decker tried to find Harry White. It is White on the ball. And comes out to Luke Pavlu. Patskowski. Under the challenge, manages to retain the ball. Comes out to Thomas Matthews. Whips it in, and Ivan Gurgic gets the head onto it. And it's with Goran Zordic, who is challenged there by Anthony Giselle. And the Knights fans aren't happy with that decision. The two number 19s. No yellow cards in the contest so far. And Anthony Giselle lucky to escape without one there. It was Goran Zordic who was tackled there, but he moves away as number 10, Joe Guest, lines up to maybe strike this with the left boot. It's Wade Decker and Joe Guest lining up. It'll be Joe Guest on the left, or Wade Decker on the right. Haruo Chakarun has set up a four-man wall. Referee blows his whistle. It's Joe Guest. Looks to find that inner corner. Comes back out to him, and on the left boot. Just shy of the post. Wasn't the best initial effort from the spot, from the dead ball situation. If you're just joining us here on NPL Victoria live stream, it is the Melbourne Knights 0, Oakleigh Cannons 0. It was a scoreless first half, and the ball comes to, that's Harry White is absolutely furious with something there, but he shouldn't be furious with anything apart from himself there, as that the potential in that opportunity has got to be the best one of the night. Comes to Hamish Watson. Hamish Watson to Giselle. Giselle to Uskok. Luke Pavlu does fantastic to win the ball there. It's with Goran Zordic. The two number 19s again at it. Zordic and Giselle. Gives it to Sewell. Sewell finds Watson. And this match is taking the same sort of turn as it did in round one after a scoreless first half. There was 3 goals in the second half, and the Knights ran away from Jack Edwards' reserve as 2-1 victors. It was Hamish Watson in the 53rd minute who scored, and then Joe Guest equalised in the 69th minute. And then Hamish Watson with a 76th minute strike won the match for the Knights. Very interesting to see how this one pans out. It's with Awad. Gives it to Jurcic. The Oakleigh Cannons on the attack here. It's Wade Decker. Wade Decker finds Guest, who is flagged offside. The ball does end up inside the net, but it was Joe Guest who was flagged for offside there after Wade Decker found him with a through ball. Chakarun is going to have more success with his goal kicks in this second half after he found himself battling with the wind in the first half. Ivan Grgic dispossessed there after he tried to dribble past a few players, ends up winning the ball again, gives it to Awad. Awad tries to skip past Wade Decker. And the Knights do enough, but it does come to Joe Guest. Joe Guest dispossessed, and it's with Gian Albano, who tried to skip past Tavsan Oakleigh there. And as he gave the ball one way and ran the other way, he did not end up meeting the ball on the second effort. As it's with Corey Sewell. Sewell gives it to Giselle. Corey Sewell on the ball. Gives it to Marijan Cvitkovic. Out to Luke Jurcic. He's got Awad in front of him. Chooses to whip it into the box. Comes out to Awad as Blair Govan does enough to get it out. And there was a foul on Patskowski, I believe that was, on the far left. Cannons trying to work something here. Unsuccessful. Good pressure there by Hamish Miller. But Haruo Chakarun does enough to get the ball away from the danger. Marijan Cvitkovic up against Joe Guest, and Joe Guest does bring Cvitkovic down, as it's a quick free kick from the Knights. It's with Anthony Giselle. Anthony Giselle gives it to Cvitkovic, finds the head of Marijan Cvitkovic, the Knights skipper, but the next person to grab it was John Honos, the Cannons goalkeeper. There's that wind, and it is Anthony Giselle lines up a shot, and that was driving towards the back post. He would have hoped to hit that side netting there, but unsuccessful, as Anthony Giselle, who I thought maybe should have taken a shot earlier, but he was just given all the time and space, as Honos decides to go low. But still ends up Knight's ball. No, it doesn't. It's with Miller. And the referee pulling out the first yellow card of the contest for Marijan Cvitkovic, the Knights skipper. Chakadun gets a punch to it. And it will be an Oakleigh Cannons free kick in a dangerous position. As Joe Guest lines it up on the left foot. He's had one from a similar area. Referee just letting Guest know that can't take it until the whistle is blown. As the Knights try to sort out a wall here. Last time from a similar position, it was Wade Decker and Joe Guest lining up. It was Guest who took it. And this time it will be Guest again. Last time he hit the wall. Interesting to see. Doesn't go for the shot this time. Tries to dink it in. And he was looking for Blair Govan at the back post there. But it was Harawai Chakarun who got there in front of Govan. As a low ball goes. Finds the head of Joe Guest. It's with Tomislav Uskok. Gives it to Anthony Giselle, who had an opportunity to find the lead in the first half and in the second half. He's had two good opportunities. The first one was a lot easier than the second, but both unsuccessful. It's with Goran Zoric. Can't find Decker as Saul gets in front of it. Great tussle there for the ball between Pavlu, Zoric, Giselle and Sul. It comes out to Franjic, who does get a touch onto it. Patskowski was lurking, but Joseph Franjic does enough to get it back to his goalkeeper, Harawai Chakarun, safely. 2 nights ago on Wednesday night, the first 2 round 6 FFA Cup matches were played. And the Moreland Zebras defeated Westgate FC 2-0 at CB Smith Reserve, and South Melbourne defeated Langwarrin 2-1 at Lakeside Stadium. So Moreland Zebras and South Melbourne are the first 2 teams into round 7. And round 7 is the one to watch, as a win in round 7 secures a place in the round of 32 for the National FFA Cup. So South Melbourne and Moreland Zebras. South Melbourne have been in it previously, twice before, 2015 and 2017. So if we're going to go by that pattern, it looks like it is time for South Melbourne to get themselves on the national level again. But Moreland Zebras will be hoping that they can do something, as it's Joe Guest here with the ball, and Corey Sewell, my apologies, comes out to Thomas Matthews. Matthews gets a ball into the box, and that is a goal for Harry White. The Oakleigh Cannons have found their lead after many, many opportunities going both ways. The ball from Thomas Matthews found Harry White at the back post, and with a diving header, he got it past Harawai Chakarun, and it is the Melbourneites 0, Oakleigh Cannons 1. It was fantastic work there. It was Joe Guest initially who tried to whip it in, but he gave it back out to Thomas Matthews after Corey Sewell managed to get a block on the initial Joe Guest cross. But it was Harry White at the back post. And this time he found nothing but net. As we continue, it is a 59th minute goal. Confirming the scores for you, it is a Melbourneites 0, Oakleigh Cannons 1. Zordic picks it up. And now it's with Decker. The Cannons have an opportunity to score 2 quick ones. The deep ball comes, but Chakarun got a punch to it through the net. Maybe a bit deceiving to the eye, but he gives it out to Giselle. And the Knights now have half an hour to score a goal, not to win the match, but to equalise here in front of their home fans on this cold winter night. Cvitkovic does well to win it in front of Luke Pavlu. Gives it out to Jurcic, but it is Hamish Miller who gets onto it. And just confirming for you, well, that is a Knights throw, and the Knights will want to throw this one out quickly, maybe catch the Cannons off guard. Jurcic gives it to Awad. Awad can't do much there, as from the chest it goes straight back out for a Cannons throw. Tuesday night, we'll see 4 FFA Cup fixtures. Eltham North Reserve with a 7:30 kickoff. It'll be the Eltham Redbacks hosting the Altona Magic. The Eltham Redbacks are the lowest tiered team left in the competition after Westgate were knocked out just 2 nights ago. Veneto Club will see the Bulleen Lions host Northcote City with a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. 15 minutes later, the Melbourne Knights will kick off against Avondale right here at Knights Stadium. And then the 8 p.m. kickoff will see Werribee City take on the Oakleigh Cannons at Stead Park in Geelong, which is the home of Geelong Soccer Club. Werribee City's ground not fit for a night FFA Cup match. And Stead Park will see 2 FFA Cup games in 2 nights, as Wednesday night we'll see the home team, Geelong Soccer Club, at 8 p.m. take on the St Albans Saints. And 7:30 on Wednesday, Hume City will host the Bentley Greens. And it is Joe Guest who tried to get a foot onto that one, but was unable to in that heap of players that were surrounding the penalty spot. But just as I squeezed that one in, Hume City, Bentley Greens, Wednesday 29th of May, 7:30 kickoff at ABD Stadium. The Bentley Greens have qualified for the round of 32 for 4 times in total, and Hume City have qualified 3 times. The only other team to get 3 are Heidelberg, with Heidelberg, Hume City and Bentley Greens, the 3 most successful Victorian participants in the national rounds of the FFA Cup. Past the hour mark here at Knights Stadium, and the Oakleigh Cannons found themselves a lead in the 59th minute. It was Thomas Matthews, the skipper, who whipped in a nice cross and found number 16, Harry White, at the back post, and the headed effort is what separates the 2 sides at the moment, as Blair Govan launches one onto the roof of the grandstand. Long throw from Jurcic. And it comes out. That was Ivan Grgic, not the most notable goal scorer for the Knights, especially with long-range efforts like that. But that one was so close to creeping into the top corner. And John Honos, who was at full stretch to save that effort, is requiring medical attention now. That was a fantastic effort from Ivan Grgic, number 13, who is the centre-back today, as Nikola Jurkovic and Aidan Bryce are both not available for today's match, with Nikola Jurkovic out injured, and Aidan Bryce, as I mentioned in the first half, has accumulated 5 yellow cards, therefore has to sit at least one game out before those yellow cards are wiped. As we got this break now, I will go through some fixtures for you guys. Tomorrow, round 14 NPL Victoria, it is Green Gully hosting Altona Magic at Green Gully Reserve, 3 p.m. kickoff. 15 minutes later, it is Avondale FC taking on Dandenong City at Avenger Park. That'll be a 3:15 kickoff. Once those two have concluded, ABD Stadium at 5:30 p.m. It'll be Hume City taking on Dandenong Thunder. And that leaves Sunday's 4 p.m. kickoff at Lakeside Stadium, where South Melbourne host the Bentley Greens. South Melbourne managed to get a win, a 3-1 win against Heidelberg United last week. And if they could knock off the Bentley Greens, that'll be a massive statement. Taking out 2 of the top 3 in 2 rounds, that would be huge for the Oceania Club of the Century. Monday night, 27th of May, 8:30 p.m, the Grange Reserve. It'll be Kingston City taking on Port Melbourne Sharks for the final game of round 14 NPL Victoria. After that medical break, we are back on now, as John Honos seems to be okay. He was at full stretch for that Ivan Grgic effort, though. Giselle gives it to Sul. It's with Franic. It's with Cvitkovic. Cvitkovic has Giselle, Watson and Albano in the box. It comes to Albano, who looked to get a touch onto it, but couldn't get anything good enough in front of Thomas Matthews. As it's with Giselle, gives it to Sul. Sul, once again, can't get past Thomas Matthews, and it is Goran Zoric, who does not take the final touch. It is off Anthony Giselle, the 2 number 19s who have been at it in this second half, with Goran Zoric getting the better of Anthony Giselle so far in this second half, but still plenty of time, just over 20 minutes remaining in this contest. It could go either way, but as it stands, the Oakleigh Cannons have 3 points in the bag. 3 points they so desperately need as they sit third last on the NPL Victoria ladder. It's with Guest. Finds Decker. Decker can't do enough as it's with Uskok, but he's facing his own goal. Gives it to Chakarun. Decker sprints towards Chakarun, saying, I'm not going to give you any time. But Chakarun with enough experience to make sure he doesn't cough up the ball right in front of his goal as it comes out to Anthony Giselle on the left. It was Muhammad Awad who gave it to him as Giselle looks for that far ball to Luke Jurcic. Doesn't find him as Govan gets it to Patskowski. And Jurcic chasing back, does enough. And the referee says clean tackle. Patskowski not happy with the decision as Jurcic doing a lot of running there on that right-hand side for the Knights as the ball goes out for an Oakleigh Cannons throw. The ball was searching for Goran Zordic there, who does find it in the end, but nowhere near where he wanted to find it. As Thomas Matthews whips in the ball, comes out to Joe Guest. Joe Guest was looking for a teammate in the box, but it comes back out to Decker. And Decker claims a handball, and it has been given, but it is outside the box. And I believe that is a yellow card to Ivan Grgic. 72nd minute yellow card. And this opportunity here for the visitors. You have to believe that if Joe Guest, who has taken the last 2 free kicks, finds the back of the net here, it will be all over for the Knights. The Knights will be very happy, though, that it is outside the box because the shouts there looked like they were penalty shouts, but Hadavoy Chakarun getting his wall ready. 2 previous free kicks have had a 4-man wall. This one's 5. But it'll be very interesting. 3 players lined up. It's Wade Decker skips over it, and the ball, that was a Harry White free kick, and it went straight to Hadavoy Chakarun, who touched it onto his own post. That was a great little dummy there by Wade Decker, and Harry White got onto the right boot of his, and as it went past the wall, it was Chakarun who tipped it onto his goalpost, and the Knights survive so far. Comes out, whipped in. It is Chakarun who does get a hand onto it, does pick it up in the end. The Knights will not want to give away any opportunities now. They're 1 down, and the Cannons seem to be all over them at this point. Anthony Giselle, with a bit of room in front of him, can't find a teammate as he was looking for Albano. It's with Harry White. Wade Decker in the box, comes to Harry White, looks for Decker, but Harry White was flagged offside as Goran Zordic slipped him through there. Very, very good last few minutes from the Oakleigh Cannons, who seem to be all over the Knights. Substitution there for the Knights. It is number 17, Ivan Šilić from the under-20s. Coming on for number 10, Marijan Cvitković. It's the first substitution of the match, with neither side choosing to make early substitutions. It's with Corey Sewell. to Uskok. Uskok was looking for Albano there. He did find him, but Albano could not get anything onto it. Advantage, says the referee. The Oakleigh Cannons have a 3-on-3 situation. Comes out to Decker. Decker on the right boot. No, that was Harry White. My apologies, on the right boot. And Luke Pavlu with that second effort. It comes to Pavlu. As Harry White hits the deck. And Awad tries to skip past. The Cannons have pressed the Knights all the way back into their defensive third. Decker. And the effort goes out for a corner. The Knights medical staff are on the pitch, so it won't be a quick corner for the visitors. It is Luke Jurcic right in front of his box there, and it does not look like Luke Jurcic will continue as the Knights prepare a second sub. Corner did come in, but the Knights with a fair few under 20 players on bench here tonight, and that substitution just confirming for you guys watching at home. It was number 2, Luke Jurcic, coming off for number 3, Damon Todorov. So, number 3, Damon Todorov, and number 17, Ivan Šilić for the Knights, both debuting. And they have, both of them just have over 10 or so minutes to prove that they deserve to be here. And what a better opportunity to prove your worth than when your team's down 1-0, especially when you need a win at home. It is Todorov who has sort of slipped into this left wing position. And I'm just trying to find Šilić. Looks like he's on that far right wing position with Albano and Cvitkovic. My apologies, Albano and Watson in the middle. So the two youngsters will be getting attacking opportunities. As the throw there looks for Šilić. You can't find him, but he will be out for a Knights throw. If the Knights want to secure 3 points here tonight, they're going to need to find a goal, and they're going to need to find one quickly. Comes out. It is Uskok. Uskok tries to find a wad. The clearance there doesn't do any favours for Thomas Matthews, the Oakleigh Cannons skipper. It's with Saul. Saul pegs it over the referee there, but it is Gurgic who gets onto it. Finds Šilić. Šilić with the touch. Fantastic touch from the youngster. Finds Anthony Giselle. Giselle gives it to Uskok. Uskok with a bit of pressure behind him. And it's with Saul. Giving it away there, but still got the ball. Gives it to Watson. Watson finds a wad. The Knights with a bit of room. Gives it to Albano. Albano to Todorov. Todorov with a bit of time and space on the ball. Whips it in for looking for Hamish Watson. And Hamish Watson couldn't get a head onto it, but that was a fantastic delivery from Damon Todorov. I mean, the two youngsters, Ivan Šilić and Damon Todorov, have been on the pitch for the better part of 3-4 minutes, and it's been fantastic so far from both youngsters, showing their intent. John Honos blazes it high, but not far at all, as Todorov wins the ball there. And it's Goran Zordic and Damon Todorov, but the youngster gets there and wins it for the Knights. It's Sewell. Sewell, who's given away a few balls, will look to the safe option this time as he finds his centre-back, Ivan Grgic, as it's with Tomislav Uskok. And Tomislav Uskok gives the ball away there. We've got a 3-on-3 situation here for the Cannons. It's Patskowski, I believe. No, Harry White. Harry White chose to go solo this time, but couldn't find the target. It comes to Grgic. Todorov was looking for Sewell there. Couldn't find him, but Sewell's doing a great job there to try win the ball. But the Cannons have read it, and they've gotten around. It's with Decker, and he was looking for that overlapping run from Captain Thomas Matthews, but couldn't find it as the overcooked pass goes out for a goal kick. Long ball looking for Watson, finds him. Watson can't find a teammate though. As Blair Govan gets it out, it's with Decker. Decker has a couple runs. Joe Guest wasn't happy. Didn't find him. Comes out to Decker, but it's out for, my apologies, it's out to Luke Pavlu. And Hamish Miller can't do enough to get the ball forward, and it's out for a Knights throw. The Knights have made 2 substitutions as we are in the final 10 minutes. But the Oakleigh Cannons, the men who started, are the men who are still on the pitch. Hamish Watson leaves a bit of an off-ball challenge there as John Honos grabs Hamish Watson's leg, as Hamish Watson isn't happy with how quickly, or how slowly, as a matter of fact, John Honos was taking to get the game restarted, and it is a yellow card for John Honos there, as the referee agrees. 83rd minute yellow card for John Honos. It is the first yellow card for the Cannons, who have played a fairly clean game here. The third yellow card of the match. The first 2 went to Marijan Cvitkovic and Ivan Grgic. And it's White. Finds Goran Zordic with the left boot, but he could not get enough of a touch there, and the referee has very quickly signalled for medical attention for Joe Guest inside the box. I'm not too sure whether that's due to the pain of the challenge, or the aftermath, should I say, or just because the referee wants this game to flow. It is a yellow card for Joe Guest. Cannons won't care. It's with Todorov. Todorov gives it to Sewell. Back to Todorov. Seems as if Damon Todorov and Corey Sewell have swapped positions. Damon Todorov playing more as a fullback now, and Sewell given the nod to go forward and create something, as Anthony Juzel showing his fancy footwork there, but nowhere to go, as Decker and White do a fantastic job to get rid of all possible opportunities as the Knights cough up the ball. Decker had it, gave it to White. White gives it to Patskowski. Back to Decker. It's with Miller. Miller was looking for a long ball and somebody to maybe run onto it, but to no avail as it comes to Albano. Does enough to get it to Watson. Corey Sewell in the advanced position. Plays it back to Todorov. Todorov with miles of space in front of him. Has to make a decision. Chooses to go further back. It's with Joseph Franic. Won't want to lose the ball here. Gives it back to Todorov. Todorov finds Sewell. Sewell with a quick touch to Giselle. Giselle back to Sewell. Sewell's got players in the box. And as he looked to find him, it was Thomas Matthews who got a foot onto that effort. And it is out for a corner kick. Sewell whips it in on the right boot, goes deep, comes out to the back post. It's Shielich, and he couldn't direct that one back into the box as it went straight into the hands of John Honos. We're in the final 5 minutes here at Knights Stadium. It is Melbourne Knights 0, Oakleigh Cannons 1, thanks to a 59th minute goal from number 16, Harry White, as the attacker got onto a cross, a diving header to find the back of the net in front of Haruo Chakarun. The skipper, Thomas Matthews, claiming the assist. Cannons will make their first substitution of this contest. And it will be number 11. Number 11, Wade Decker, coming off for number 14, Marcus Demanchi. It's with Watson. And Ryan Patskowski gets a left boot onto it and gets it as far away as he can. The Knights have less than 120 seconds remaining of regular time as the fourth official prepares to put up the stoppage time board. I'm going to guess 3 minutes, but wouldn't be surprised if it is 4. Todorov gets a boot onto it, puts it back into the mixer, comes out to Zordic. Zordic under quick pressure from Giselle, but Giselle can't win it as it comes down to Dimanchi, who's just entered the match for the Cannons. Dimanchi showing some footwork there, and it was two youngsters at it as Damon Todorov got in the way of that one. As we have entered the final 60 seconds, the referee's additional time that he has chosen to add will become clear to us very shortly. As it's with Dimanchi. Can't keep it. Comes out to Watson. And it's with Awad. The Knights need it, and they've never needed it more than now. As it is 4 minutes added on, 4 minutes. So the Knights have 240 seconds here to try and get an equaliser. And every single one of those seconds will count for the hosts. As Corey Sewell looks to put the ball back into play with the throw. We've got a second ball on the pitch. It'll be Corey Sewell with the long throw. Decides to go short. Plays it off a wad. And it is still Knights' ball. Giselle looks for Gudagic. Finds him. Gudagic with maybe the worst decision he could have made there. Looks to just put it anywhere instead of trying to maybe find a teammate. It's NPL Victoria Friday night football for you here, guys, at Knights Stadium. As Todorov gets it to Chakarun. Chakarun with a quick throw out to Anthony Giselle. Anthony Giselle getting chased by Dimanche. Plays it out to Gudagic. Still time on the clock. It was 4 minutes added on. Corey Sewell chasing it in front of White. And White couldn't get there, as it is with Hamish Watson. Hamish Watson under the challenge from Luke Pavlu. And a long ball comes out to Joseph Franjic, who doesn't want Chakarun to have it. Says, stay in the goal. I'll take it, as it's with Giselle. Giselle plays a long searching ball looking for Watson. Doesn't find him. Comes out to... That's Harry White. And Harry White does a great job there to not only keep the ball, but force Corey Sewell to put a challenge under White. And it is Thomas Matthews who will take this one. Right in front of the Melbourne Croatia fans. And we have just ticked over 1,000 people watching on YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in. And we hope it's been a good affair for you guys to watch. As it's with Ivan Gudagic. Gudagic finds a wad looking to turn past Guest and Miller. Guest does enough on the defensive end to win the ball there. It's with Goran Zoric. The two Patskowski looking for Harry White's run, but doesn't find it. As we are entering the final 60 seconds of stoppage. And this will be, if not the last, but the second last opportunity for the Knights. If they can get this one into the box. It's Giselle. Gives it to Todorov. Todorov finds Sewell. Sewell will have to whip this one in. Looking for a teammate. It's a wad at the back post, but John Honos with the safe hands does fantastic not only to get to the ball, but to hold it as well. It's not full time quite yet, with a bit of time left. About 30 seconds remaining on the clock. As Patskowski turning on the Jets on the left side, looking to get to that corner flag, and he doesn't mind if it stays there. And that's full time here at Knights Stadium. The only thing to separate the two sides was a 59th minute goal from number 16, Harry White. It was the skipper, Thomas Matthews, who whipped in the ball, a driven low ball to the back post, and Harry White with a diving header found the back of the net, past Hrvoje Chakarun. Concluding here at Knights Stadium, round 14, NPL Victoria. The Melbourne Knights 0, the Oakleigh Cannons 1. My name is Josip Herzog. It has been a pleasure to accompany you guys during this fixture. Thank you very much and good night.